How are you guys doing? Welcome back to another video. Today we are discussing the Synapse Network Launchpad. Now, the Synapse Network Launchpad, we have a lot to cover regarding this Launchpad, especially how it works, if you should get into this Launchpad, and everything else that you might be interested in when you are looking for a Launchpad. So if that's what you're looking for, right? If that's your goal today, to set out and find something like that, then stay tuned because this is a video for you. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me again today. Before we get started, please make sure to like and subscribe and note down that I am not a financial advisor. So with that out the way, let's get going. So Synapse Network, the financial revolution begins now. The Synapse Network is a new era financial institution created by combining the best aspect of mainstream finance with the best futures that the blockchain technology can bring to the table. So we first go over the website to really find out what Synapse really is. Then we're going to dive a little bit deeper and we're going to look at the white paper. We're going to look at the tokenomics, price prediction, all that stuff, right? So first things first, basically, right? So the overview. Looking at the blockchain ecosystem as a whole, Synapse found that many of the revolutionary aspects of DeFi were being diminished by foundational problems. Low security afforded to both users and projects, problems of connectivity, the high barrier of entry, and a limited amount of ways to access various fields of the market, with one of the limiting factors being the lack of truly capillary multi-chain solutions. Those limiting factors are a problem that Synapse is looking to solve. So a pretty clear problem statement here. They also talk about their challenges. The network has found that many of the user-related problems stem from security and connectivity. Okay, so it's basically the same thing. Now here is what is interesting, in their own words, the solution that Synapse brings to the table to these problems. Synapse has built a 360 degrees ecosystem that gives a clear solution to all of the pain points analyzed. With our anti-bot solution, transactions have never been more secure. And thanks to our Oracle technology, off-chain data, unbreachable Synapse cross-chain integrations have created a vast network of easily interruptible projects. Okay, so a lot of difficult words being used here, right? It's clear that their main target audience are more seasoned investors that understand everything that they put out there. In my opinion, that's not necessarily a good thing. And the reason why is the white paper is the place and time to use the investing terms and to really go in depth and talk about the more difficult topics. The website should be accessible for everyone, including beginner investors or even people that aren't as fluent in English. At the end of the day, we're talking about a launchpad. So the launchpad and the ecosystem around it should be easily explained and simply explained on the website, with as much graphic information as possible and not this detailed or this difficult, and that should mostly be on the white paper. That's my own opinion though. Here we have a couple of articles or just companies that wrote about Synapse. Here we see 37 participating projects. Look at this 3D animation, pretty cool. 50 million funds raised in the projects, and the next sale is to be announced. So that is all for the information about Synapse. Now they get right into the roadmap, which we are going to cover. Before we do, however, I want to quickly show you guys the tiered system. So the tiered system is not on the website, but it is one of the most important elements of the Launchpad. So we're going to continue with the tiered system and the team, but first we'll look at the tiered system. So over here, we can see we have a pretty difficult to understand tiered system. It's not on the website, but it is in here on this Medium article. We see here we've introduced two investor group. These are going to be the tiers. There's one group called Standard, own about 16% of SNP tokens in stake. And then we have Premium, own about 84% of the SNP tokens in stake, where the threshold for investment is to hold 10,000 SNP tokens for their equivalent in liquidity. we've introduced a new allocation distribution system called allocation points, valid regardless of group, which is reached after obtaining a multiple of 100 SNP tokens, or the equivalent of liquidity. For example, 571 SNP tokens is 0 allocation points. Minimum is 100 SNP to get an allocation. Sorry, 1000. Then 1231 SNP tokens will be 12 allocation points, etc., etc. If a project collects a significant amount of a given investment round, we use the following distributions. 35% of the funds will go to the standard group, where guaranteed allocation is going to be distributed according to the allocation points. And 65% of the funds will go to the premium group. So depending on both what group you are in and how many allocation points you have, will be determined per project what your allocation is going to be in the project. Now, in my opinion, this is overcomplicating the tiered system by a lot. Now, some people might like this because it's new and it's different, and theoretically it does also have its benefits, but in my opinion, it's just way too difficult. It's hard to wrap your head around. Beginning investors are not going to understand whatsoever, and even seasoned Launchpad users are not going to recognize this system because it's not been implemented anywhere else. So in my opinion, right, I'm not very bullish on this particular tiered system, but there it is. Now at least you guys understand it. If you still don't understand it, use the URL, go to their Medium, Synapse Network, and you will be able to read up everything else on the tiered system. Also, it is worth mentioning that this is a new tiered system. So they used to have a different tiered system, but they changed it because it was too difficult. So if this is already difficult and the other one appeared to be too difficult, then I don't even want to know what that is. So yeah, there's that. Oh, did I just close the website? Nice. Okay, enough about the tiered system. We're moving back over to the roadmap. So it's an interesting roadmap. I don't really like how they put it down. It's a bit difficult to read. We see here a bunch of cards. The ones with a check mark means that they have been completed. So there's a bunch of stuff here. Let's try and move our way over to the first card. Again, not very well done in my opinion. So the 1st of February, the beta version of new Synapse platform. Then the 15th of February, the new way of refunds. So they do have refunds on this Launchpad. From now on, we will return unused funds on a single network and use a single stablecoin BSC BUSD. This simplifies tracking your returns, okay? Then on the 22nd of February, why am I not able to click on it? Man, this website is quite laggy as well. Synapse goes mobile, okay? So that is a mobile version for Synapse. Financial revolution, Synapse Network is your window, blah, blah, blah. Okay, there's basically nothing. So they do have quite a lot of development going on every single month, right? The team is working quite fast. Over here, fresh and new Synapse website. New leveling for the staking, yield farming is available, the NFT sale, the loyalty vesting, Synapse tools as a service, cross-chain goes bigger. So you can see that every step of the way, they introduce new utility, they introduce new updates, and they move along. So what I do like about this is that you can tell that the team is constantly working on the project and that their pace is actually quite high. Now, this is very good. I do want to point out that the roadmap itself is very weak. Like, it doesn't look very clear. It's not really an overview as it is supposed to be. So that's a shame. But the actual improvements of the team and what they're doing, that is certainly quite good. All right, now moving over to the homepage. Here we can find even more information on the platform and the Launchpad, and eventually also the team. So this is all of the utility, everything that you can do on this platform. So while Synapse has already proved the power behind its Launchpad and its cross-chain technology, the network array of products has just begun to show its versatility. Our toolset ranges from SNP investment tools to multiple ecosystem-changing features. See our most valuable products. So they have an anti-bot, staking, vesting, they're cross-chain, they have a Launchpad, obviously there's smart contracts, NFTs, D-apps, custom developments, DeFi, Web3 apps, advisory, metaverse, play to earn, venture capital, and they basically keep on going. So a bunch of stuff here at the technology labs, and for sure we can see a lot of very ambitious things that are being introduced via Synapse. Of course, we're most interested in the Launchpad, but to know that behind the Launchpad there's a lot more, brings more utility to the token, which is always a good thing. So moving on from here, we see here our community. Now this is something we don't usually see when we review a Launchpad, an actual tab on the website, right on the homepage created for the community. I think it's very good. Launchpads are crowdfunding websites at the end of the day, and the crowd in crowdfunding is very important. So that would be the community. I don't feel like people are, Launchpads are putting enough attention to that, to how important that really is. So it's good to see this. We see here 600,000 active members. I'm not sure what they mean by this, right? Is that all of their members on Telegram, Discord, and Twitter combined? And I don't know. It's difficult to calculate what exactly they mean by 600,000 active members. 16% followers growth. Now, again, this is different per month, so it's very hard to just put down 16%. They may have had 16% at one point in time, but I assume they don't have 16% every single month, right? Maybe sometimes it's 17, sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's -8. So, and then 122K people on Telegram. Okay, so there's that, and then we have a bunch of reviews. Best community of the best projects, Synapse, yada yada yada. We can scroll over here. So far, no one has managed to untie this knot. You are the first, bravo. So yeah, just a bunch of positive comments over here. They do have the Twitter tag over here linked. So they validate the comments by linking the Twitter. So we know for sure that it's not bots or the own team that is making these reviews. We know that they're real, they verified it. So that is actually very useful and good to see. Then here we see the Synapse VC fund. Synapse is ready to unveil another pillar of the network, experience how the most stable and efficient aspect of mainstream finance meld with blockchain technology. So we have here solid investment, are backed up by infrastructure enhancing services and success-oriented solutions with more than 100 projects aided. Total capital of 15 million is collected for optimal growth, 40 technological partners working towards tech research and implementation, and one-stop gap solutions for the best possible project development. Right, so there's a lot going on over here at the Synapse labs, right, at the Synapse company. So a lot of stuff apart from just the Launchpad, which in my opinion is always a good thing, right? It's the whole network, and I feel like a lot of people don't really understand that element, right? They go to Synapse, for instance, just for the Launchpad, but they forget that their token has a lot of utility apart from just the Launchpad. So if you're going to be buying that token regardless to get your allocation, to get your staking rewards, then you might as well be aware of the network behind it, because maybe, who knows, you would like to use some of the utility that the network provides. So here we see the revolution, combine the best elements of mainstream finance with the, 360 degrees cross-chain investment ecosystem. Yep. Connectivity. Synapse is at the center of the new DeFi revolution. Connect with all major networks thanks to our powerful cross-chain technology. Become an integral part of the DeFi world and become part of the network. Yeah, okay. And then here we have their main USPs. Why to invest in Synapse and not in something else? So we see minimal funding for maximal gains. Minimal funding cross-chain investments since the foundation build stages. Security, the most stable transactions on the fastest networks. They do have a read more button. Wow, this is really nice. We have a little tab here. With the Synapse team efforts during core building, we managed to achieve a level of security never before seen in the crypto space. Following in the steps of mainstream financial institutions, which main concerns are customer security and customer support. Now, I feel like this is a very good problem. I haven't quite read their solution yet, like why, like how do they secure their platform? But in the crypto space, absolutely by far the biggest problem is that there is no security. Decentralization is good, but it does bring with it some severe security issues, and the fact that they are tackling this is good, but then again, we do really have to find out what steps are they taking to secure. This, coupled with the smart implementation of our revolutionary cross-chain technology, enables fast and smooth pool. Yeah, but they don't go in detail what measures they take to secure. So we'll try and find that later on the line in the white paper. But for now, take it with a grain of salt. Everyone can say that they do a lot for security, but if they don't state their sources, they don't state what they're doing for the security, then it could have easily been made up as well. Leave no chances. Guaranteed allocation for guaranteed investment. That's of course good, right? Their main two USPs, cross-chain, guaranteed allocation, and the fees era is over. Fee-based transactions are a problem of the past. With Synapse powerful cross-chain technology, you are able to invest in the amount you want from the earliest stages in a very secure and stable manner. But that's not enough for us. That's why we are also providing users with no fees transactions and fiat to crypto purchases, taking another amazing aspect of mainstream finance and making it better with futures of the blockchain. All right. So yeah, quite some cool USPs overall. It's making me very excited about Synapse. They do have some more partner reviews over here. Gamey, One Ring, Animal Concert, and Up Only. Up Only says, Synapse Network has been an invaluable partner to Up Only and has helped shape an early stage growth and success. They provided phenomenal input to our marketing activities and were always, so yeah, blah, blah, blah. No more over there. And these were all the CEOs except for here, this is the CMO. Okay, now here we finally find the team. So the team is fully doxed. Of course, that is a USP in and of itself. If you ask me, we know who the team is, we know who's behind this project, and we can move over to their LinkedIns to verify who they are, what they do, and what their experiences are, if they are suitable for the position that they are in Synapse Network. So we see here the team, Michael Dormarecki. So this seems to be Polish, very hard for me to pronounce, I have to be honest. Over on their LinkedIn, we can see that, again, they're fully doxed. They have a lot of activity, a lot of followers, connections. They've stated their experience. He's been chief at Synapse Network since early 2020, co-founder at QTech, investor at Ovidworks, a strategic investor and advisor over here, Molecule.1 for 5 years and 10 months. And he has a Politechna Opolska, which is a bachelor's in engineering and computer science. So definitely the right type of experience and the right type of degree, fully doxed, active, definitely a real account. And the same can be said from the co-founder of Synapse, a fully doxed account, good experience. He has 337 connections. So an overall very good account on LinkedIn. So not only is the team doxed, but the team also does have good experience. Now, I've heard over on CoinMarketCap some concerns that the team was pulling a rug pull or stuff like that. But looking at the team, it doesn't make much sense. They have lots of years of experience, they are fully doxed, and they seem to be actively working on the website and the program. Now, the network itself looks good on first glance, so a rug pull, I wouldn't say that, as the team simply looks pretty okay. They also have quite a large team. We have a lot of people here. They all seem to be Polish, as far as I can tell. Now, if you do speak the language that these people are from, let me know. I'm quite curious. Pretty sure it's Polish though. All of their LinkedIns are linked. They have actual good pictures, so it's very professional looking. So yeah, thus far I'm quite bullish on that. I really like how that looks, and it's just a different, refreshing feel and look from other crypto projects and crypto teams that we have seen. A lot less professional than this is, so very happy with that. So we see here, 20 years of experience in total, 5 startups already built. It's a worldwide team and a solid network of connections. Here they have a couple of media mentions, quite a lot actually, from Crypto Post all the way to Crypto News, USA Today, both crypto newsletters but also mainstream newsletters. So they do a good job at kind of combining that traditional finance with the crypto finance, as they are also being mentioned on non-crypto articles, which is good. We see over here their business partners. We see Moonwhale, Moonstarter. Moonstarter is actually a Launchpad. Not the best Launchpad in my opinion. Definitely not a tier 1. 321 Crypto, Black Dragon, Block Ventures, Chainlink, and a bunch more. So yeah, overall, some decent partners. I wouldn't say any tier 1 partners that I can see, but not tier 3 either, as far as I can tell. So definitely not the worst business partners over there. And the website overall looks great. I do have to say it's a bit laggy. Again, not very important, so I'm not gonna linger on it too much, but the website is laggy, and that does reduce the amount of people that will be able to view it and stick on the website. So that should be solved. All right, so that is pretty much all as far as the website is concerned. So let's now move over onto the dashboard and look at the Launchpad side of things. So we do that by moving over here. I'm actually going to close the website because it's bringing so much lag. It's actually quite weird. I've never really had that before. So with that being closed, we now find ourselves in the Synapse Network app. Over here, we have our dashboard, our new staking, leaderboards, claiming, buy crypto, and the language selection. Now the homepage, the dashboard basically, is going to be your Launchpad. Here you're going to see all of the chains, all of the swap and exchanges, and all of the projects that are currently going on, are upcoming, and have already ended. So we're going to look at all three, right? Upcoming, ongoing, and ended. Before we do, however, the exchanges, right? The token, how to buy the token, you can do that on PancakeSwap, and Uniswap. And of course, they are available on the chain Polygon, Binance Smart Chain. Oh, and you can also swap with AnySwap. So yeah, that's good to see over there. Now, obviously, you'll have to register and connect your wallet and all that. I didn't do that. You should if you are going to invest, but for me, it's not very relevant right now. So looking at the IDOs, we see Chirply. I actually made a review on Chirply, pretty in-depth. Give it a look if you want. Chirply did, it just looks like a very, very strong project. And I believe that if we were to, let's say, type in Chirply, the TGE already happened, so we might already be able to see. No, not quite yet, just about. But yeah, so the token sale is going to happen on the 31st of August, so it's very soon. So it is coming up quite recently. So yeah, I'm just very bullish on Chirply overall. I'm very certain that it's going to make a huge return. So I'm very happy to see this project on the Synapse Network, right? That is already one very good, high quality project that is on the Launchpad. Anomalia, I don't actually know. So let's see here. Ongoing is Chirply. Upcoming is Anomalia and Shark Race. Now, Shark Race, I have actually heard of that. So we are not able to click on the details for some reason. Maybe it is because they want me to log in first, which would be really stupid, but okay. Here you do see a lot of information already. The price per token, the phase, and coming soon. So as far as these projects goes, I don't really know them. I've never heard of them, so I'll have to do a little bit more research in order to talk about them. What we can already see is with the ended projects, how they perform. So again, the ongoing project, Chirply, very bullish. Now, what have been the results of some of the other launches? Starting off with Legends of Aria. This project launched on the 21st of August, so we don't really have any information of it as yet. The sell price is at 0.35, and it is being launched on a lot of other big launch pads, such as the Engine Starter, Star Launch, Spin Starter, Communitas, Game Starter, Soul Raiser, and True PNL and Moon Starter. So basically all big launchpads that you know are hosting this project. So we can already automatically assume that Aria is not some fake rock pool or weird project, right? This is a big project. Lots of large launchpads are covering this. So the assumption can easily be made that this is a good, well-vetted project that will likely have good results as well. Now, another thing that I would like to put out is that on this channel, I have an in-depth review of this project also. So if you want even more information on this upcoming IGO, or no, not upcoming, right? This IGO that just happened, make sure to check it out. Now, the total raise is quite low, only 66k, and here only 80k. So it's definitely not the type of raises that, let's say, Seedify or DAOmaker will do. Their raises are some smaller, more along the lines of a communitas raise. So that is also important to note down. Now, there's other IGOs and IDOs that launched as well, such as Time Raiders. This one, I believe, didn't do as well. At the moment, it is down by nearly 90% on virtually all of the launches. Now, you can see also this has been done on both Engine Starter, Bin Starter, and Launchpool. So even if a project is being launched on a lot of big launchpads, it doesn't automatically mean that the project will make profits. And this project is the living proof of that. It was also featured on many big launchpads, but it didn't do well. So keep that in mind. And this was definitely a very bad project for the Synapse Network, right? They shouldn't have launched this. It was very bad. It just dumped after the TGE. And yeah, the raise, as you can see, is quite a bit smaller than the other launchpads. So Bin Starter raised 200k, Synapse only 150, Engine Starter also with 20k. Here in their private 2, they raised 50k. Okay, so together they raised 200k. Okay. But yeah, for instance here, Launchpool here raising 500k. So overall, right, Synapse Network, smaller pools, and they do have good projects, but they also have bad projects. Now again, this is the same with every launchpad. Now what we're mostly looking at is how many projects are good versus how many are bad. And overall, in a bear market, if a project simply has more good profitable projects than it has bad projects, then automatically it's a good launchpad, right? Per definition. In a bear market, it's difficult to find projects, let alone projects that do well. So if you have a launchpad that is launching frequently and the launches do better, there's more good launches than there's bad launches, then per definition the launchpad is doing something right. So Chirply, very bullish on that. Legends of Aria, quite bullish on that as well. Again, Time Raiders wasn't a good IDO after all. But then we also have Faith Tribe, another IDO that has been done on this launchpad, and we can see here that the IEO has a minus 72%, but the public rounds did make a very small gain. Now again, nothing major, but at least it didn't go into the minus, and it is currently at a plus. This happened in February, so this was already in the bear market. So nothing crazy, no crazy returns, but not a bad project either. So bit of a neutral one. Now also this one was also featured on the Bullperks, Red Kite, and on both of these two launchpads I also have a review. I was quite bullish on both of these two launchpads. So again, Synapse is launching the more mainstream projects that are also featured on many other launchpads and even some bigger launchpads, which does give a little bit more security, right? If Synapse would be only posting bad launchpads, then you could be sure that all these other launchpads would also be posting garbage, right? Because they're basically hosting the same pools. Only Synapse is hosting slightly smaller pools, but they're covering the same IDOs, same IGOs. Now overall, like I said, Legends of Aria, Chirply, very bullish. Faith Tribe isn't that bad. Time Raiders thus far is the only IGO that didn't go well that I checked, and it went really bad. But then again, especially in the bear market, there's always going to be projects that don't do well. Okay, that is enough about the current projects. As for now, they have a project live and 2 projects coming up. So there's plenty of activity and there's plenty of good project launching. And at the end of the day, it's up to you, the investor, to not invest in the bad projects and mainly invest in just the projects that are good, right? It's not all up to the launchpad. It's also a little bit up to you. Now over here on the dashboard, there's other things we can do, such as moving over to the new staking. Also, the dashboard is a bit laggy, unfortunately. So here we can stake LP and SNP staking. So this is of course where you stake the amount of tokens that you want for your tier, so you can actually participate. You will also get staking rewards. It's very simple. Here you have a ledger. You can move around with the months, the amount of months you would like to lock up your tokens, the S&P token price, and the S&P token amount. And here you will then see your estimate staking profitability after you put everything down. So very simple. Again, first go over to one of the exchanges, get yourself the tokens, link your wallet, stake, and then find a project you would like to participate in. And just like that, you'll be able to do that. So quite simple overall, very good dashboard if you ask me. They even have leaderboards, just, fun stuff to show the biggest wallets and all that. Here you have a special tab for claiming. They even have a special tab for buying crypto. Now this is of course, their finance part of the dashboard. And I suppose more things are going to be added later down the line. Maybe they want to introduce a lottery system, right? You see that oftentimes with finance platforms, they also have a lottery. They also have a marketplace. So I assume these things are still coming up, but we're going to find that out right now as we are going to be taking a deep dive into the white paper of Synapse Network. So let's move into that. Here we see the white paper. It is quite pretty looking and we're just going to breeze through it. We're not going to go too in depth, but I just want to give you guys a good overview of everything that we might have missed and go in a little bit more detail to what Synapse really is. And of course, we're going to have to find the tokenomics somewhere in here. So the first, truly cross-chain investment ecosystem. Cross-chain is the next big thing in the crypto market. True, by the way, absolutely true. So it's a big USP. Synapse is the bridge to this completely new world of fundraising across all smart contracted based blockchains. So this is all their market research, and then here we have their teams. It's funny to see, but over here they state as one of their partners ING, which is actually one of the biggest Dutch banks. So that is just a little something that you might have missed. Pretty cool. I happen to know that because I am myself Dutch, but that is yeah, pretty awesome to see in there. I didn't see that on the website, but it is here on the white paper. Now again, it is not a Dutch team or anything like that. It is a worldwide team, and I believe to have seen most of the names to be Polish, but again, correct me on that if I'm wrong. So here, the identified number of problems. They seem to have 3 of them. One is startups lack the expertise and ability to navigate the complexity of launching their projects. Second one is early adopters and potential users do not have the opportunity to connect directly with the project for private and public rounds. The third one being potential investors receive asymmetric information and cannot conduct due diligence on the project/startup. All 3 of them are certainly true, and I hope to see a problem statement on the next slide. No. Fundraising, a complex structure to navigate. Yeah, okay. This is not very interesting. Investing, a David versus Goliath situation, more market research. They didn't have a solution, right? So they listed their problems, and usually you would put a solution up there as well. They didn't do that, a bit disappointed. Fundraising in a bear market. Unlike a bull run in the cryptocurrency industry, characterized by easy access to the capital, during bear markets, capital fundraising is tight. In the midst of a bear market, greater due diligence is needed to ensure those projects with greater chances of success are funded. Yeah, this is absolutely true, and I'm happy that they put some time into this. So of course, Synapse is not very old. It kind of launched during the bear market, and of course it is still the bear market right now. And even if we get out of it, there's always going to be bearish times and bullish times. And the fact that they show, hey, we're a Launchpad, we know that Launchpads suffer tremendously during bear markets, but we thought of that and we do know our stuff, is very important. And it's good to see that they put some time onto it. They go on to say that whether in a bull run or in a bear market, Synapse Networks aims to level the playing field by conducting that due diligence on behalf of the Synapse Network. So strong due diligence to only let the best projects in during a bear market, but also during a bull run. During a bull run, all projects are going to the moon. During a bear market, strong due diligence is needed because a lot of projects will fail and you only want the best ones on your site. A lot of Launchpads don't understand that Synapse does, and the fact that they have introduced Chirply and other good projects does make me quite bullish on that. Turning a low cap investor into a smart money investor, civilizing the fundraising process. Yep, okay, not very interesting. What is cross-chain? It's good that it's in the white paper. We don't really need it. Of course, cross-chain is very important and for sure the future, right? Being able to invest in multiple chains on one platform certainly is the future. Done integration, so they integrated Ethereum, the Binance Smart Chain, Avalanche, KCC, Huobi EcoChain, Polygon, Phantom, and XDAI. All of these chains are going to be available on the Synapse Network. Incoming integrations, Terra, I wouldn't do that. Solana, Polkadot, and Cardano are very good integrations though. I would steer away from Terra for the time being. Let's see here. Yep, the accelerator. So they're an accelerator, Launchpad, DeFi platform, cross-chain DEX, mobile apps, and own VC. Then here they have a little bit of information about their Launchpad and their incubator. Of course, when you have a Launchpad, it's good to have an incubator as well, right? It is kind of, you know, if you already have the tools to make a Launchpad, you also have the tools most of the times to make an incubator, and it helps, you know, basically securing the higher chance of projects doing well, and it increases the amount of projects that you are going to be able to launch on your platform. So the fact that there's still so many launchpads that don't do incubation is quite weird. So it's good to see that the Synapse Network is doing that, apart from just our Launchpad. DeFi Marketplace. So like I said, they do want to introduce this. It's not on their dashboard as of right now. Then we have the Synapse DEX, the VC Syndicate, Synapse Wallet. Here we then have finally the Tokenomics. So let's take a good look at this. Private sale 5.40%, staking rewards at 6, advisors at 6. It's quite high, by the way. Marketing 9.6, reserve will be 13. Team also quite high. Well, it's okay. I mean, it's average, 15%. Research foundation will be 25%. Community, private, and public sale. Wow, look at that. Community, private, and public sale all combined, only 260%. Private sale B will be 240%. Exchanges will be 5%. Seed will be 5%. Liquidity providing rewards 5%. Private sale A, so there are 3 private sales. Wow. Staking rewards, okay. And then here we have the token freeze and unlock schedule. So I'm most interested about the team. So team is getting 0% at TGE. That is good. They have a 24-month cliff. That is 2 years. That's good. And then vesting for 95 months. So very long vesting, very long cliff. That's always good to see. 0% at TGE and an average 15% for the team. So that looks good. As for their rounds, they have a 0% cliff, release at TGE, and pretty long vesting apart from the public sale. So that is all pretty standard, doesn't look too bad. We're going to look at the crypto rank in a little bit to see how these rounds performed and if these early investors into Synapse made profits. But for you guys, it's not that important, so I'll do it later on in the video. All right, so that's all for the tokenomics. Then they go on a little bit further. They have their tiered system as well here. We already did go over it. So yeah, not very relevant for now. The technology of a tiered system, yeah, all of those calculations, they're just disclaimers. They need legally to put those in there. So if you're ever wondering why are those in there, they have to. Yeah, and the rest of the white paper isn't that exciting. They have here their roadmap once again. This one is a bit more comprehensive. So they actually do show that even though they're still not finished with phase 3, they already do a lot of work for phase 4. So they already integrated the Polygon and the Avalanche chain, but they haven't even done this yet. So a bit chaotic perhaps. They also have phase 5 already planned out. So again, right, the roadmaps are looking quite good, professional, and the team just seems to be doing a lot of stuff. They seem to be progressing, developing at a pretty good rate, especially during this bear market. So overall, pretty bullish on that, but we already discovered most of the roadmap. So I'm moving on for now. Here again, we have their partners and their advisors, and then here are their social links. All right, let's now look at their token, my personal price prediction for this project, and quickly take a peek at their current community sentiment and their Twitter. So as it stands right now, the token is going for 0.2 cents. So for 2 cents, that's not that high. Market is in the green though, recently upped by 2.3%. And the volume also, the volume is very low, however. As you can see, only around $800. Now it does depend per day. So sometimes the volume is above 1,000. Other times it's only a couple of hundreds. So overall, low volume usually means more volatility. Also because we only have 2,000 investors, but we do have a very large fully diluted market cap. That means that the price is quite spiky, and you can see that this looks like a 1-day chart, but it's a 1-month chart, and the 1-day chart basically looks like this, right? So there's very low volume, not that many investors, not that many transactions, so there's a pretty big volatility in the price, and it makes for some weird charts. Also, if you look at the overall chart, after TGE it basically plummeted down and it never really reaches up again, over here only. After that, it just went down. Now, clearly, you can tell that this is launching in the bull run, doing quite okay, and then the bear market hits and the project goes downwards. Now, this is not a uncommon graph. We see this a lot. It's not necessarily bad. We do have to understand that it's at 2 cents and the all-time high was 70. So it is down by more than 95%. Overall, their sentiment on the coin market cap is quite divided. There's quite some bullish, but there's plenty of bearish comments as well. There's a lot of people that have commented on this project, a lot. So it's definitely quite popular. So the biggest question that we have right now is, does the token have the potential to move back up again? And to really answer that question, we have to understand why the token dropped in the first place. Now, the biggest reason that it could have dropped was that there was no utility yet. Maybe there were no launches yet, or maybe there wasn't anything, no utility to the token yet. But that wouldn't make sense, because then we would have already seen the price go up after that, that was finally released. So it's a very weird pattern. It just doesn't have that many investors and that many trading volume at the moment. So in order for this price to reach its all-time TGE again, it is going to be 100% dependent on the market. If the market gets super bullish, then a finance platform like this with a Launchpad is going to have a great time. If this bearish sentiments continue to hold, it could easily kill the project. So this Synapse can go either way. And I feel like it is 95% dependent on the market. So if you are bullish on the crypto market as a whole, it makes sense to be bullish on Synapse because there's potential in here. If you are very bearish on the market and you think for the upcoming months or years, the market will stay bearish or get even worse, then you should not be bullish on Synapse Network because they're way too integrated with the market. If the market does bad, Synapse does bad. And you can disagree with me, but that is my personal view. Now, me personally, I'm quite bullish on the market. I think that we still have some heavy times ahead. I feel like for a couple of months, the market will not be very bullish, but by the end of this year, I think that we can see a change in that. And me personally, like I said, quite bullish on the overall crypto market. And therefore, me personally, I'm also quite bullish on Synapse. But again, it's all speculatory at the end of the day. Now, looking at the holders again, let's see how big the holders actually are. How much money do people hold in their wallets? Now, all of these are all contracts, so these are not actual investors. From here, they kind of start, and you can see that investors are holding thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars worth of Synapse. And keep in mind, there's less than 2,000 holders of the token. Everything below top 50, above top 50 is more than $1,000, sometimes even tens of thousands. But with that little holders, with such a high market cap and with such low transactions, the price is incredibly spiky, and that makes it dangerous. So that is why I personally would not invest in Synapse right now, because the price can go either way. If one of the biggest investors of Synapse was deciding to just dump all of its tokens, the price of the token would severely dump, right? Let's say, look at this biggest investor, like 23K or 51 or 20 or 18K, right? If one of those was to dump the token, I don't think the token would be stable enough to take that, and it would just absolutely dump. Now, again, like I said, if the market is bullish, this situation will better itself, but it all depends on your personal view of the market. All right, so let's now end it off with a quick visit over to their Twitter, if they have any, to see what the current sentiment is on the market as a whole for the Synapse Network. So we see here, this is their account. They have an astounding 300,000 Twitter followers, which is a lot. We are seeing that they are posting, but quite actively as well, 15 hours ago. Here actually they posted their newest roadmap, which looks pretty good actually. So very pretty designs, and overall just very active, right? They are posting frequently, lots of things, and they have a lot of community interaction also. So yeah, positive feedback over here. People are liking, people are retweeting. The company has a big Twitter, but they're also posting actively about their IDO sale, but also updates regarding the roadmap or new things coming up. The design is very good, and they have a healthy mix of both retweeting and tweeting themselves. So overall, I'm quite bullish on this project. Like I said, it's highly dependent on the market, but because I'm bullish on the market, I'm bullish on Synapse as well. The Twitter is looking amazing and the community is very positive. So there is a lot of potential, and it's definitely worth keeping an eye out on Synapse Network to see how this project develops further as the market progresses. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Ciao, ciao, take care, see you later.